Massive shout out to Banks for the donation. He wants me to talk about the crazy potential there was in a fight between Neji and Sasuke and who would have won. This is one of those fights that we've talked about within the community for a couple decades now that was being built up within the show that just never happened. The fight would have been generational, no doubt about it, but the story never really allowed for it to fit within the narrative, and when the characters took two completely different routes, by the time their paths crossed again, it was just way too late. And I think Kishimoto kind of realized that because narratively Sasuke needed to be weak for the sake of the Sasuke retrieval arc. So let's talk about why he would lose to Neji. When talking about Sasuke versus Neji, Rock Lee actually has very significant importance to the conversation, specifically because of his fight with Gaara. Sasuke's speed is comparable to post weight drop Rock Lee, which is why he's able to get the jump on Gaara. But even with Chidori, Sasuke's speeds are nowhere near comparable to Gates 4 or 5 Rock Lee. Neji was not concerned with Rock Lee until he was hitting those speeds, which are drastically faster. So I just don't see Chunin Sasuke being fast enough to get past Neji's defenses, which means he absolutely would have needed the curse mark just to hang with Neji, and I don't know how much that would have enhanced him post-training arc with Kakashi. There's just too many variables. You could argue that Sasuke would be able to see the weak point with his Sharingan, but unless Sasuke's Chidori was able to pierce rotation or he had an attack that could thread the needle and actually hit Neji, I don't see it happening. And then by the time the Sasuke retrieval arc happened, Sasuke would have been drastically stronger than Neji, which is why I truly believe Neji should have just died during this arc, but that's a whole nother conversation for a different day. It would have been interesting though, way more interesting than posting 5 times a day, but unlike that challenge, which I'm drastically failing, it's just never gonna happen.